BS Show, Season 4, Episode 9. Sean Gancars with Justin Chasmore and Adam Tyne, as always. And boys, I may have jumped the gun for us last week. Always talk about the cold start, how we heat up, and we got rolling, and then we went all Titanic and hit the iceberg last week. A little 2-7 week to bring us back down to earth a bit here. With that said, it brings the overall record to 25-28-1. Smaller slate of games this week, as we were talking pre-show. Big bye week this week. I do believe the other one's week 13, as we were talking about. So we got 3 less games than normal, but hey, still another week and an opportunity to get back on track here. Boys, first losing week since I want to say week 2, almost maybe week 3. How we feeling bouncing back here?
Well, I mean, we're 6 weeks through. We're around 500, which not great, but means we can still get hot. Unfortunate week last week. What can you do? I think I cursed myself by saying I loved my locks and then went 1-2. So I'll learn from that mistake.
Yeah, we had the bailout game last night where we went 2-0, or else it would have been real ugly. But like Genk said pre-show, Vegas got nailed last week. So obviously a lot of favorites won, which was tough. But 2-7 ain't the best, but we'll bounce back.
Yeah, we got a lot of season left. NFL blessing us with an extra week of the regular season too. So there's time to get back. Plenty of football left. Most fantasy leagues hitting the final week of the first half of the regular season this week in week 7. So get a feel on that too going. But with that said, week 7 is going to start, as always, on Thursday night here. Denver traveling to Cleveland. Cleveland banged up. Nick Chubb out. Kareem Hunt out. Baker Mayfield, who knows? And Denver, after a 3-0 start, beating up on the week of the league with the Jets, Jaguars, and Giants, are all of a sudden 3-3, but maybe catching Cleveland at the right time here. Denver, 3-point road dogs, over under 42.5. And Chaz, as always, with a go to Gonzo with this one.
Yeah, this is a tough game, obviously, because there's a lot of injuries that we're not sure of. Obviously, Baker, the biggest one. Gonzo, tough loss last week with the Birds going for 2 and ruining it for him. But he's going to bounce back here, no doubt about it. And he's taking this, I'm guessing, with Baker playing, because he's going to take the Browns. At home here, I mean, it's a must-win situation, Baker plays or not, for the Browns. They looked horrible last week in a big game against the Cardinals. We didn't think their defense could play as bad, and they looked even worse. Their offense just looked derailed without Nick Chubb. And obviously Hunt going down doesn't help, but they are just going to have to find a way right now. And if there's a team that's playing just as bad as them, it's probably the Denver Broncos, who had a really bad loss at home against the Raiders. So I'm going to take Cleveland with Gonzo here. Low scoring game. I think Cleveland at home finds a way. I'll go 21-17.
I am pumped that Gonzo's on the Browns because I think so too. Denver has quickly become 3-3, and only wins have just been against terrible, terrible teams. So we might be seeing one of those patterns where they're going to beat up on bad teams but lose to good ones. And in my opinion, the Browns are a good team, so I'm going to go with them to win this. Right now, their defense is not playing great, and if Denver's defense doesn't play great, they're not going to win a lot of football games. So I think the Browns kind of have the offense where they can plug and play running back, have some effectiveness. Defense shows up at home, and it's actually same score as you, Chazzy. I agree with that. I'm going to take the Browns 21-17 here.
All right, I'll be the lone rare rider on the Broncos in this one here to actually maybe win outright too. I'm talking pre-show about the Broncos defense also. They did look good to start the season. That was against the week as the opponents and everything gotten better. They kind of looked a little suspect seeing their holes. With that said, one big thing I've been on, especially with the Browns this year, is I always say if you can run the ball and play defense, you got a good shot at making the playoffs. Something the Browns have the formula to do, but their defense has also looked a little suspect all year. I mean, teams been able to throw the ball against them. All of a sudden, take Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt out of the game plan. I also been pretty big on saying the fact that I don't think Baker Mayfield could go out there and win a game for you when he has to. And no, I'm sure he can win a couple. Maybe this one he does, especially at home, but I don't see it. I still think this Denver defense can play pretty good football. I think they kind of keep Baker in check a little here. They're going to make him beat him, and I'm going to stick with my guns where, like I said, once Baker's forced to beat you, I'm not a buyer in him. So I'm going to take the Broncos to go on the road and pull off the upset here, 20-17.
The Browns have let up 47 points and 37 points in the last 2 games.
Yeah. Defense is suspect.
Denver's offense ain't too
Yeah, no, it's not the Chargers, the Cardinals, that's for sure.
yeah, let's pump the brakes there.
No, it's not, but I mean, just saying, this Brown defense had a lot of hype coming into the season, and there's been numerous games they've allowed 30 plus too this year.
I love it. I hope Denver wins.
Nice. So here's the thing. I'm just like, the Browns had their year last year. It's cool because they've been bad for so long and everything, but I'm already at the point where like I'm back to like just let the Browns be the Browns again.
I mean, Baker does not look like the guy. He's got every opportunity to be the guy, and he doesn't look like it.
That's what I mean. He surrounded with talent. We're surrounded with a team that can run the ball well and usually play defense. That's good enough in the regular season and get you in the playoffs, but anything to get you over the top, I don't think, with him. All right, Chaz, let's go to your Ravens. Like I said, I had them going to the Super Bowl this year. I thought they weren't ready yet to beat the Chargers last week. I kind of figured Ravens defense was still a little down. I thought they had a few weeks before they turned a corner, maybe got a little healthier and picked up in the second half of the season, but they kind of shut that all down. They came out last week, smoked the Chargers in impressive fashion, returning home here to face division rivals Cincinnati Bengals at home. Massive game here. Ravens laying 6 points at home, over under 47.5. Chaz, can the Ravens repeat that performance of last week?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is they put up 34 points and no one on the offense like had a good game statistically. Like Lamar really didn't play well. The running backs really didn't play well. They all scored. Latavius Murray, Le'Veon Bell scored, and Devonta Freeman scored. But like no one really did well. Like I was telling you guys pre-show, the Chargers just kind of shot themselves in the foot with field position. A lot of short fields for the Ravens. But yeah, I mean, the defense looked fantastic. To hold that Chargers offense to 6 points is saying a lot. And it was great to see. Obviously, this is the biggest stretch of their schedule. It's a 4-game homestand. So this is game 3. Bengals are obviously second place, 4-2. I'm going to take the Ravens here to win and cover. Lamar's 5-1 against the Bengals in his career. And last year when he played them twice, the Ravens outscored him 65-6. And Lamar is just a problem for this Bengals team. They have not been able to figure him out. And Lamar Jackson, I think, is going to have another really big game because it is a massive game for the Ravens and this division. So I'll go Ravens, take care of business here, get the win at home. I'm going to go 28-20.
Chaz, yeah, I think your Ravens get this dub, but I'm going to take the Bengals to cover. I'm believing in the Bengals. And I mean, I think when you see, once you find your guy like the Bengals have, everyone just plays better. I don't know the Bengals defense or anyone on it really, but they're playing pretty well. And, offensively, offensively, they got the guys. And that's just one of those like quarterback, kind of the Brady effect, all that stuff. That's just how it happens sometimes, usually for reverse for the Bears. But either way, I'm gonna take the Bengals to cover in this game. I really think Joe Burrow comes out with a chip on his shoulder. I love the points here. Ravens played great defense last week. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's a little bit of an outlier based on how banged up they are. And I think the Bengals can score some points in almost every game they play. So I like the Ravens to win. Bengals cover 28-24.
Yeah, I'm with Adam on this one. On the Ravens winning this game, but Cincy covering that 6 points. And Adam kind of said a lot of things I want to hit on. I mean, you're right about the Bengals defense. I don't know if I can name a guy on it, but I watch them. They look good. I know that
they
much.
Played pretty well.
I like what I see from them when I do watch them. With that said, though, I mean, this is just a big-time game division. Chaz, I know you said the Ravens kind of beat up on them last year, but I think we're talking about a night and day different team, the Bengals this year than last year, even this quick into the season. And the Ravens, big impressive win at home last week, dominating the Chargers. I actually think they come out with that little emotional hangover to start the game. Maybe Bengals first half spread, something to look in here. But we've seen the Ravens fall behind to the Colts and come back, seen them fall behind to the Chiefs and come back. And I'm not even too sure that No, I can see something similar here. I'm not surprised the Bengals are leading this game at some point in the third quarter, but when it's all said and done, Lamar Jackson at the end of games has proven to be too much for a lot of teams out there, and I think he's proved to be too much for this Bengal team. Um, Ravens find a way to come back, win this game in the end. Bengals cover the 6. Adam, I'm going to go with a very similar score to you. I'll just go 27-24.
I'll like the over.
Yeah.
I mean, is the Ravens D that good or like what? I can't believe they held them to 6 points. They've been getting.
Here's the thing: the Ravens defense, I think, is better than what we saw in the first 5 weeks of the season. Still don't think it's as good as what we saw last week either, though. I think it's somewhere in between. But we'll see how the season goes, though. I do think that Ravens defense will get better as the season goes. All right. Giants, Panthers, in a thriller here at MetLife. Giants 3-point home dogs over under 43.5. I really don't know what much there is to say about the Giants right now. I mean, God knows who the hell's going to be playing on the offensive side of the ball. The defense kind of been a question all year. Blake Martinez, quarterback of that defense, him going down earlier this season has just clearly been an issue for the Giants too. I mean, they don't have the quarterback of the defense, and they look lost numerous times ever since he went down. And Matt Stafford and the Rams had a field day picking that team apart. So with that said here, I'll probably take the Panthers on the road here to win and cover. Panthers have been playing pretty well defensively. A lot of question marks on the Giants offense. So no, I think the Giants should have struggled to score here. And the Panthers, who, kind of cooled down a little bit after a good start here, I still think they have a chance to move the ball successfully against this Giants defense that has been suspect for most of the season. Just feels like a bad matchup all around for the Giants. Give me the Panthers to go on the road, win this one, and cover 21-17.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. This is just a random gut feeling about watching the Giants enough. They got absolutely embarrassed last week. I think that they're going to beat the Panthers this week. I truly believe that. I am out on the Panthers. They have lost 3 straight, similar to the Broncos. Looked bad against multiple not great teams, in my opinion. And the Giants, Joe Judge has more pride than what just happened, I hope. And I think they got smoked against probably one of the best teams in the league in the Rams, obviously. But I think the G-Men at home is just one of those games I've seen watching them over the past 10 years. They just win. I don't really know why. They don't really make a lot of sense, the Giants, but this is one of those games for me. I think that they're going to win a close, low score, boring game, even though we're forced to watch it because we're over here. And I'm going to go 20-16 G-Men.
Stay away game of the week right here. I'm going to take the Panthers to win and cover here, just simply because I just can't take the Giants. I have not seen anything from them to give me any sort of confidence. And like Gang said, God knows who's going to be playing on the offensive side of the ball. The Panthers, like you said, AT, 3 pretty bad losses. I mean, they came back last week against Minnesota, but then lost in overtime. I'm just going to go off the fact that I think the Panthers are a better team here, and the Giants are just banged up, and it's a bad time. So I'll go with the Panthers to win and cover, but 100% stay away game. I'll go Panthers 24-17.
I think the stay away game's a few games away right now because I almost have a little confident playing the Panthers this week. I'm not going against the Giants, but do feel confident in that one. All right, sticking with the team from the NFC East here, traveling to your division, Adam. Washington on the road, heading to Lambeau Field. Packers 9.5-point favorites at home. Over under 48.5 here. And Adam, you just watched Aaron Rodgers burn your city like he always does. How do you feel about him this week?
Yeah, we talked pre-show. My thoughts on him saying that he owns him is he's absolutely right. He has won 22 of 27 games against them and has beaten them in every big moment possible on his back, all him. Good for Aaron Rodgers. You play that good, you deserve that. If the Bears don't want to see that, then don't let him score like that. But either way, I'm taking the Packers here. I've been fading the football team for a few weeks now. They've really helped me against Gank. Appreciate that. I think the Packers come out, and Washington defense can't stop anybody. And Taylor Heineke has quietly struggled the past couple games after a big win against the Falcons. Not going to think too much into this. Packers do get that 9.5 hook at 10. I really see this at least a 10-point game, if not more. And I think Aaron Rodgers has a big day for you, Gank, in fantasy. I'm going to take the Packers to win and cover easily here, 34-20.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on this one, Adam. This is one key matchup that's given me the slight hope with all my bye weeks against Travis. I do think Aaron Rodgers has a chance to have a big game here. Hoping he can execute and get it done, but no preseason Aaron Rodgers long all season. A lot of question marks whether he'd even be playing at all this year, especially for Green Bay, even if he was. And with that said, he kind of came back and kind of gave everyone he's in the whole I'm just gonna go out there, fuck it mode and show you what I could do. And all of a sudden, after a terrible week one, he's starting to look like that guy where he's just carefree and fucking playing. I think that's a scary thing for the rest of the league because I don't think we've ever seen this Aaron Rodgers before. And I think he's starting to hit this stride. I think this team's ready to get rolling here. There was a time last year was against Tampa Bay. They kind of had a letdown game in the middle of the season. I don't see that coming this year, especially not against Washington. I think Aaron Rodgers has a field day against this Washington team. I think they win big. Give me the Packers at home, 31-14.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm going to finally fade the football team here. I think it's a bad spot for them, and it's not a good recipe when your defense, like you guys said, can't stop anyone. You're going against Aaron Rodgers and Lambeau, and Taylor Heineke is not playing very good football. And now you had Antonio Gibson that's pretty banged up too. So not a lot going for this football team. Obviously a horrible second half last week against the Chiefs at home. After leading in the first half, they fell apart, and now they got to go to Lambeau. I'll take the Pack here by the hook, but I'll take it 31-21.
What happened to their defense?
God knows. I don't know.
The same guys.
Yeah. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. I just don't think they're getting the pressure. And well, it's almost time for Bakhtiari to come back too. I think he's eligible to possibly come back this week.
Yeah,
It's week 7.
Yeah, this week.
Yeah. So I mean, Packers may only get better.
Well, they're banged up again. Like last week against the Bears, they were missing a few defensive starters. Like they're hurt and still winning pretty easily.
Yeah. And like Rodgers has all day to throw without his superstar left tackle who's about to be coming back too. So yeah, watch out for this team. All right. Big 1:00 game of the day here. Kansas City traveling to Tennessee. Saw Tennessee pull off that huge win at home last night against Buffalo. They are now 5.5-point underdogs at home against the Chiefs here. As expected, high over under 56.5. Always guaranteed the 50+ over under with the Chiefs on the field. And I'm going to say right now, I'm going to take the Titans to cover this game. I'll probably pick the Chiefs to win. I am going to pick the Chiefs to win, but 5.5 seems like a big number. Like we've been saying all season, the Chiefs defense has a lot of question marks to it. And this Titans offense yesterday against a Bills defense that has been playing very good this season was clicking on all cylinders. It looked like, once you get Derrick Henry rolling, which he's been doing all season, that play action from Tennessee was deadly yesterday. Buffalo did not have a single answer for it. And I can't see the Chiefs defense making stops on their offense. With that said, the Titans still have question marks on defense too, because the Titans needed all 30+ points last night to beat that Bills team. And we know the Chiefs are going to go out there and score points. And I actually almost do want to pick the Titans to win this game. It's just a gut feeling, that little letdown after a big win last week, that Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs go out there and pull this one out. Very fun football game to watch. Chiefs win, Titans cover 35-31.
Yeah, again, I mean, I'm with you with just about everything you said there. I don't get the Titans. I don't know how you lose to the Jets and then you go out and beat the Bills like that. Obviously, it was a very close game where Josh Allen 99 times out of 100 gets that QB sneak and just happened to not. That being said, I wouldn't be shocked if the Titans won because the Titans, you don't know what team's going to show up. That I don't know how the Chiefs plan on stopping Derrick Henry. I hope they don't, and I don't think they will. I will say this: Ryan Tannehill has not been playing up to his standards the past couple of years that he has. And I don't know if that's because they're just running the ball so much or whatever the case may be, but he doesn't look as sharp as he was. So that might be the reason they don't win this game. I like the over, surprise, surprise. But I think the Titans cover. Chiefs win here 35-30.
Yeah, we're all on the same page here. I really want to take the Titans to win again. I took them against the Bills and they proved me right, but I want to take them, but I think the biggest reason I'm not going to is because of that second half by the Chiefs on Sunday. They looked pretty bad in the first half, and they came out in the second half, and they looked like the Chiefs. I mean, I don't know if they scored every possession. I think maybe the only possession they didn't was when they finally need the ball at the end on like the 10-yard line. But their offense got clicking. Travis Kelce got involved. I just think that they're going to go and put up a lot of points. Like you said, the Titans defense is going to have a lot of points. They just did to the Bills. Obviously, Julio Jones hurt again is a loss. AJ Brown getting healthier for them is big, but it just feels like the Chiefs are going to go get a win here. With you guys, I like the points. I'm going to go Chiefs 33-30.
I'm pretty sure I saw the Titans lost their starting corner, the rookie Farley, possibly for the year. So
Yeah, he tore his ACL.
he did,
He's
right?
done. Yeah.
How about them trying to go man-to-man on third down with Stephon Diggs,
So
four-string corner? What did they think was going to happen?
yeah, so Jack Rabbit Jenkins, who literally hasn't been able to cover a guy since his random Pro Bowl year at the Giants in 2016, maybe man-to-man with Tyreek Hill. So that's a possibility something to watch for. No, they are literally like, with all their injuries in the secondary, they're kind of forced to go zone. So Pat Mahomes may
Yeah.
just pick that apart.
You can't play man against the Chiefs with that secondary.
No. They got to do what they did yesterday. They got to bend and not break. And
Yeah.
it's going to break a few times like it did against the Bills and a little against the Chiefs. But
yeah,
as long as it bends a little more, then it'll be all right. All right, here's my stay away game, Chaz. And this is the Falcons and Dolphins here. Over under 47.5. No, I say stay away. I'm going to say right now, I'm going to take the Falcons to win and cover. And I want to take it with confidence, but so anybody that listens to this show, everybody knows the Falcons are a team that kind of likes to burn us, especially you, Chaz. So that's why it's a kind of a stay away game for me. But the Dolphins are just bad. Blowing that game to Jacksonville. I mean, kind of running out the lead or something, and then all of a sudden that game just turns to all Jags and they can't get anything going. Now we got a Falcon team coming in who actually has a chance to kind of bring their season back to life a little with the win here in Miami. The way this Dolphins defense is playing that I thought would be good is simply not good at all. I think the Falcons offense get going, get clicking. Sounds like they may get some guys back. Looks like Ridley would be back out there for them. And I just think the Falcons would be too much for the Dolphins here. Give me the Falcons to go on the road and win this one 27-23.
I'm going to take the Falcons with confidence this week. I like the way they looked against the Jets. Obviously, it is the Jets. But I think the Dolphins are right in that same category with the Jets. I mean, they're not very good this year. I don't know what happened to them, but, I mean, they're 1-5. Like, what the hell? I fade the Fins for a while, and I'm going to keep doing it. Matt Ryan looked really, really good last week. And against another bad team, I think he'll continue to do that because the guy has proven he can at least put up points in this league and, be a productive quarterback. So Arthur Smith's system's still working pretty well over there in Atlanta. They're getting a little healthy. Kyle Pitts gets involved more. I like the Falcons to win and cover here somewhat easily. I'll go 27-20 Atlanta.
Well, I'm going to take this with confidence on the other side. I'm going with the Fins to win this game at home. And I mean, it's the Falcons, so they'll probably burn me, but I just think this game at home for the Fins, I mean, they're 1-5. It's not been a pretty season, but I'm not going to buy into this Falcons team. I do not think they're good. Obviously, they beat the Jets, which was a big win, and they beat the Giants. So let's pump the brakes on who they beat. I think the first 3 weeks who we saw, obviously it was a transition, but I'm not going to take them to be 2.5-point road favorites against maybe anyone in the league right now. So I will take the Finns with confidence to get their second win at home. I will go 28-27 Finns.
What a game.
It's a fun football game.
It is fun.
My fantasy team could use that. I mean, it's like Cordaro and Gaskins are going out there this week. So
Gaskins.
I'll take that shootout. Gaskins, I've just been burned by Gaskins all year. I play him, he gets 2-3 points or less. I bench him and he's double-digit points. So but this first time all year, I think I'm riding with him back-to-back weeks. So hopefully treats me well. All right, Jets, New England. These two teams seen each other once this year. All New England and MetLife. Now here we go, running it back at Gillette. Just a few weeks later here, Patriots 7-point favorites at home, over under 42.5. And me and Chaz have kind of been Jet backers a lot on this show, and I really want to take them +7. I'm going to turn on that, and I'm going to take the Patriots to cover these 7 points at home. The record's really not showing for New England, but they're a missed field goal away from beating Tampa Bay, and they're one less interception away from beating Dallas. This team is right there on the verge of getting some wins. I think Bill Belichick sees that. This is obviously a winnable game at home. Bill's going to go get it. Division matchup scares me with 7 points, but I think New England's playing well, and they're just kind of getting unlucky at the end of games here. This is one they have to go get at home, especially they want to keep their season alive. I do think Bill is going to do just that. Obviously, still a big Zach Wilson guy. Going to be a tough game for him here. Give me the Patriots at home, especially after Dak threw for 400+ yards against him last week. Bill is not happy about that. That's not going to make it easier for Zach Wilson, too. Pats at home in this one, 21-10.
Boy, Zach Wilson with a bad week, huh? No, I mean, I agree. I can't believe they're playing each other again twice in the first, 7 weeks of the season. That's unfortunate for Zach Wilson. I like the Patriots this week. I don't see him. He looked terrible against the Falcons last week. I mean, I was watching that game. He just doesn't look like he's ready to be there. It's not really his fault. He's not ready to play yet, I don't think. A lot of quarterbacks aren't rookie year. But that being said, I like the Patriots to win and cover here with ease. Gang, similar score to you. I think they feed Damian Harris a lot again. And I'll take the Patriots to win at home 23-13.
All right, I'm lone soul again here. I'm going to take the Jets to cover. Gang said it, division matchup, 7 points is a shit ton. And the Jets are coming off their bye. And Zach Wilson looked very sped up his first few weeks. I think the bye came at a good time. He threw 4 picks against this New England defense the first time out. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen again. But I think coming off the bye, I think they're going to be ready to play. And I think Zach Wilson's going to have actually a pretty decent game because, like Gang said, this Patriot defense just got absolutely gashed. But it is Dak and it is the Cowboys offense. But they let up a lot of big plays. I think Zach Wilson can make some plays, keep the game close enough. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points, but I think he's going to have some success and the Jets keep it close. Pats win, Jets cover. Pats 2017.
Why not, Jets? All right. There we go. One of the bigger spreads of the week right here. Detroit traveling to LA, facing Rams. 15.5-point favorites at home. Over under 50.5. And no, I almost want, after watching the Rams beat up on the Giants, see how good they are. I want to lay this 15.5, but at the same time, Detroit can't catch a break. Obviously, still winless, but I'm going to take them plus 15.5 because I'm going to say the same thing we do week in and week out in this show. And this team does come out and shows fight. And, as good as the Rams look, I do think the Rams still have some holes in that defense. Coach in Detroit over there kind of calling out Jared Goff a bit. I think Goff kind of answers the bell, especially playing the former team that just shipped him out. I think he's going to come out, have a big game, especially get enough first half, enough to keep them in this 15.5, some massive number here. So I do think the Rams are going to win easily and comfortably, but 15.5 is too much. Detroit doesn't stop fighting. Even if they have to get a backdoor one way or the other, Detroit is going to get this. Give me the Rams to win. Lions cover 35-21.
I'm not going to take the Lions to cover in this game. I realize 15.5 is a lot of points, and I understand the Lions have fought, and that's all well and good. But in case you guys haven't noticed, Cooper Kupp is open on every single play the Rams run. It's unbelievable. And the Lions just, I am curious to see how Goff bounces back here. If he does come out and play well against his old team. Dan Campbell called him out. Goff seems like the type of guy when his coach calls him out, he won't love that. And I'm not seeing it. You guys have, picked the Lions a few times. I can't do it. I really haven't. So I'm not going to do it this week. I think this is a blowout, just like it was with the Giants. And it's really not close at all. I'm going to go 34-14, the Rams.
Yeah, I'm with Gank here. I'm going to take my Lions again. Last week was just a horrific performance by them at home. But with that being said, 15.5, I'm going to take the Lions all day here. Obviously, Goff getting called out by his coach is sending a message to him. He played awful. The whole team played awful. But I think Jared Goff, he's going to take this game personal. I mean, just think of it as if it was yourself. I mean, you're the franchise quarterback there, and then all of a sudden, without communication, you're traded away. It was a pretty ugly breakup with him and the Rams, and I think obviously I don't think he thinks he's going to go win the game, but I think he's going to go play well. And with 15.5 points in the NFL, with this type of momentum and revenge on the other side, I'm going to take the Lions all day. So give me the Rams to win, Lions to cover, 31-17.
Detroit, huh? Is that the only one we're different on right now?
Is it? Yeah. I took the Giants, but I don't think you want to bet that. So maybe, if you want, but
I am not betting that.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a few more. We'll see how.
Yeah, we got a
goes
couple
here.
more, but that may be our only option. So
All right. Philly heading to Vegas here. Vegas -3 at home, over under 49. Philly has been on a roller coaster of a season so far. Chaz, you have the privilege of being able to listen to Philadelphia radio here. What are Philly fans thinking about this one?
Well, you guys are like this. A lot of the radio stations here and fans that have been calling in have been requesting Joe Flacco to take over the team.
no. What?
Swear to God. Swear to God. Dude, I don't know. They're delusional, but that was kind of a good chuckle when I heard that, because why in the world would you want Joe Flacco right now to take over that team? Like, even if he wins games, it's horrible for the franchise. Yeah. But anyway, with that being said, in Vegas here, the Eagles coming off who did they play last week? The Birds?
Tampa Thursday night.
Tampa, yeah. So obviously they came back, maybe a little momentum, got the backdoor cover, and fucked a lot of people. I think this is actually a decent spot for them. We talked about it pre-show how their defense is actually holding quarterbacks to, I'm pretty sure Gank said 225 yards in the air. And if you took out Patrick Mahomes in that game against the Chiefs, it's way better, because I think he threw for over 300 and 5 touchdowns. Obviously the quarterbacks they've played other than him haven't been too great, but going to the Raiders like to throw the ball. Derek Carr likes to sling the rock. The running game isn't too scary. So I think this is a pretty decent spot for the Birds to go and try to get a win here. If they want to compete in the NFC East at all this year, even though Dallas is kind of running away with it, they have to have this game. So I'm actually going to take the Eagles to go on the road here and get a win. I'm going to take the Birds upset in Vegas, 31-27.
Wow, 31-27. That's a lot of points.
Shootout.
I think the Raiders are the team I bet the worst with. So I don't know what it is. I have never, in 2 years, I haven't had a heartbeat on these guys. And every time I put to lose, they win. Last week I picked them to lose, they won. I think they're going to win this week. I really do. Derek Carr looks really good. And the Eagles, their team isn't as bad as I thought they were. I'll give them that. I don't love their coach. I don't know if he's the right guy to develop Jalen Hurts, and he's calling plays for the first time ever, which I found out last week, which is kind of crazy to me. But I'm going to take the Raiders to win. I think they're a good football team. I think they believe that they can win. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles make this close and somehow find a way to cover that 3 points, but I think I'm starting to believe the Raiders, which is scary. I'll go, I like the points here, but I'll go 30-23 Vegas.
Yeah, I'm actually with Chaz here. We're on the pick Philly outright to win this game. Chaz kind of took everything I want to say word for word out of my mouth, and I don't think he's wrong. Philly is able to stop the pass. Their secondary and defense has been playing very well in terms of that. And, I don't know if I trust Vegas to run the ball so well. And that said, I do think Philly, Philly actually wants to commit to the run just a little bit, commit to the run a little more. Maybe asking a lot for Nick Sirianni to do, but I mean, it's fucking Matt Nagy 2.0 out there when it comes to just refusing to run the football, especially in the early stages of his coaching career. They can commit just a little bit more. I like the way they match up against this Vegas team. And, you look at Vegas, Vegas home, it ain't an easy place to go to, but Philly fans are going to travel well. And this is one of those stadiums they like to travel to. So I actually even think you're going to see a lot of Eagle fans on the road in this one too. And that might even bring some extra energy to this Philly team. I like the way they match up here. Think they can keep Derek Carr in check. Vegas, big win, big divisional win last week against Denver after a long, chaotic week. I said this a few times about a couple games today. It just kind of feels like a little hangover from that. And Philly's coming in with a good matchup and a good spot here. I'm with Chaz. Philly wins this game outright 27-24.
I also thought it was funny last week in the third quarter, they handed the ball off to Miles Sanders and he ran it for like a yard and the crowd just went nuts.
Absolutely nuts.
Nick Sirianni goes on Philly radio every Monday to talk. And the host of the show was like, so Nick, did you hear the crowd of, when they went crazy for Sanders when he had the 1 yard run? He's like, no, honestly, I tuned it all out. And he's like, well, why'd you just like not run the ball? And he's like, oh, well, it's the Bucs. You can't really run against them. Like, so because they have a good run D, you're just not going to run the football, like not even try.
Okay, what about every other team you played when he didn't run the fucking football?
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
Play the Chiefs who don't have a defense.
Like the dude is delusional.
And dude, not for nothing. Even when Sanders got the ball, even against the Bucs, like Sanders had some big runs against the Bucs.
Yeah.
Like that one drive, that one drive when they decided to run the ball, they ran the ball like 3-4 plays in a row and got right the fuck downfield.
Yeah, he ran for like 60 yards. He couldn't have had more than like 5 carries.
Yeah. I feel like Sanders is, every time I actually see him get the ball, it feels like a minimal 7-8 yards. They just don't give it to him.
Coaches refuse to run the ball because they're so fixed on their system of all these passes. It's like, man, win games.
Yeah. What? Oh, it's neat. All right, Adam, speaking of these coaches, here's your guy. The Bears get their turn against this Tampa Bay Rush defense on the road here. Tampa Bay, another big spread, 12.5-point favorites at home, over under 47.5. I mean, I already have a pretty good feeling on who you're going to pick to win this game, but can the Bears stay in that spread?
Yeah, I mean, I really think they can. 12.5 points. I don't remember the Bears having that big of a spread recently. Like I said, they beat the Bucs last year. It really doesn't matter much. It was last year, obviously. But that being said, I mean, I think their front seven and front four will get pressure on Tom Brady, and that's why this game will be close. I don't think the Bears will win. I'm curious to see offensively what they do because their game planning is usually terrible. But maybe they open up fields a little bit, some, run pass options, kind of at least challenge the secondary because Fields has looked pretty good in throwing the ball down the field. Maybe A-Rob can get back and going, but I don't think they're going to win by any means. I think the defense keeps it close, and 12.5 points it's just honestly way too much against a decent Bears team that has won games this year, albeit, very painfully win games, but they do win some of them. I think that the Bears keep it somewhat close. Brady scores no touchdown to put it away, kind of like last week with Rodgers, where the GOAT just kind of does it to him at the end after the offense can't play. and score too many points. So I'm going to go 27-17 Tampa Bay with the Bears covering.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't, me, I am as bad as they get when it comes to picking Bears spreads these past couple of years because I'm always so lean on their defense to go out and get a cover. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here in this game. I mean, like we said, the Bears did beat this team last year, which could be a bad thing for them this year, honestly. I'm sure Brady's not going to forget about that. He's going to come out and get them. But, it's not going to be easy for Brady. There's something about this Bucs team, and it probably is their banged up secondary. That's a question mark. But, I watched this Bucs team all last year, Brady's first year there, and, it was kind of off on them. Everybody obviously bought in second half of the season. That defense got clicking. They kind of went on a run. Now here they are sitting with one loss. And like I said, there's a big thing missing where I'm just not buying into them. I can rank off 4 or 5 teams I think I like better in the NFC right now than the Buccaneers. And maybe they get things clicking, get it going. But to be honest, I actually think they cooled down before they got hot, and we'll see how that plays out. With that said, the Bucs are going to win this game at home still. But I don't see them being 12.5 points better than the Bears, especially against that defense. Give me the Bucs in a close one. I think the Bears even may have a chance to win it at the end. They just don't do it 24-20.
Wow. I'm going to be solo here. I'm going to take the Bucs to cover. Big line, but the Bucs at home are a different team. They haven't scored less than 31 points. And as much as the Bucs defense is banged up, I just don't trust the Bears offense to score that many points. I will say Herbert looked fantastic for the Bears last week with Damian with Williams out on COVID and obviously Montgomery here. So that is a bright spot, but I just think the Bucs are going to be able to score too many points here. Bears defense is good, but Brady, I think he was a little pissed at how the game ended last week, how it got close. And I think coming home, I think he's just going to put up a lot of points. So I'm going to take the Bucs here to win and cover, not by much, but I'll take them by 14. I'm going to go 33-17.
When Rodgers got the ball last week, it was 17-14 in the fourth quarter. I just knew. I had seen that drive for the past 10 years.
Didn't you say something similar to that on the show? Like if Bobby at that point of the game and then Rodgers had marched downfield and just put it away.
Yep, I'm telling you.
He did say that.
I literally, I know I did. I said it's going to be a 3-point game, and he's going to go and march down the fourth quarter and win the game. It's exactly that.
That screen, I fucking own you. As he does.
Yeah.
All right. Here is, and correct me if I'm wrong, what I believe is the biggest spread of the season so far. Arizona minus 17.5 at home against Houston. Over under 47.5. And I look at this and, we got 3 big spreads this week. I took the dogs in the first 2 to cover, and I'm going to take the dogs in this one to cover also. I mean, 17.5 is a massive number in this league. And this is scary to say because I may literally take it by a hook. I can't believe there's a hook in a spread like this. There actually is, but Arizona by 17 kind of feels right for this. I mean, they're going to go score against the Texans, get a job done. But the thing is, when you look at the Texans, kind of similar to the Eagles. I mean, not as good as the Eagles and not great, but defense against the pass is not as bad as you may seem. I think they can maybe make a couple stops. Kyler Murray says score his points. But with that said, I kind of see a lot of running in this game, especially from Arizona. I think the clock's going to be moving fast in this one. And, as long as the Texans get 13, 14 points, which I think they do, that's going to be enough to cover, even if it is by the hook. So give me Arizona to win. Houston covers 31-14.
Yeah, I mean, that is just so many points in the NFL. And is Tyrod coming back, Chazzy, for your Texans or no?
He's
out.
He was week to week last week. Now they're calling him day to day. If I have to guess, he misses one more this week.
Yeah, I think he's out one more. I'm going to take the Texans to cover because I think it's a 17-point game, like you said, Gank. Also, you point out pre-show, they might be looking ahead to the Packers on Thursday. So maybe, think this is an easy game, which it is. I think that they'll win very, very easily. Texans maybe with a backdoor cover. I just 17.5 is a lot of points for a Texans team that has at least shown some life in certain games. So I'll take the Cardinals to win, Texans to cover. I'm not going to bet this game. I'll go 31-17 Arizona.
I'm going to be the lone soul here. Last time I took the Texans plus 16.5. I think that was 40-0 or something like that against the Bills. So I'm going to learn from my mistakes, and I'm going to not take them plus the points because that offense is just they just can't score points. And when you look at the Cardinals defense, they looked fantastic last week against the Browns in a game where the Browns were favored. So coming home, I think this is absolutely going to be a rout. I don't think it's close. I think Arizona starters might be pulled by the fourth quarter. I'm going to go Cardinals 40-10.
I mean, that's very possible too.
I mean, the Texans just got murdered by the Colts too. So
yeah, you guys called that one.
Yeah. Speak of those Colts, Chaz, why do you lead us in here? Because now we're in Sunday Night Football, and the Colts traveling to San Fran. San Fran 3.5-point favorites at home. Over under 44.5. And as everybody knows, ever since San Fran was in that Super Bowl less than 2 years ago, I kind of been a big, almost hater, definitely a fader of them since. And injuries have been a huge problem for this team all of last year, first half of this year again, starting to show. With that said, I'm kind of been a big buyer of the Colts, and I'm going to buy into this one. I'm going to pick them to win this game outright. Carson Wentz has been really starting to play pretty well for this Colts team, and they still have enough time to save their season, get rolling. This is a winnable game. San Fran looks like they'll have Jimmy G back starting in the pocket this week for them, but he's banged up. If he can't go, Trey Lance is banged up if he has to go. So you really don't know what they get from the quarterback spot here. And the defense of the 49ers that a lot of people expect to be great, looks like he can be beat a little more this year than the past few years. Hasn't been as good. So the way Wentz is playing, I think keeps this Colts team rolling. I think they go on the road prime time here, get this win outright, and kind of send a message to they're only worrying the division, Tennessee Titans, that they ain't going to fold that easily on this season. Colts on the road outright win 24-21.
Gang, I'm 100% with you, man. I love the Colts this week, especially getting 3.5 because I see this as a field goal game either way. I don't think the Niners are really good enough to blow out any team this year. They just don't really have the offensive firepower, in my opinion, especially with a banged up Jimmy G. Trey Lance just didn't look ready. I think he could have a big career, just not there yet, obviously. And the Colts have more to play for. The Niners, they're in serious trouble with that division. I mean, the Cardinals 6-0 and the Rams 5-1. There's just no shot they win it. And even the NFC is going to be tough to find a playoff spot. Carson Wentz quietly has thrown one interception in the entire season. I saw that. And I think you pointed out his interception TD ratio is pretty great. So, I mean, tough first schedule. Colts find a way to run the ball effectively. They're just feeding Jonathan Taylor. And they find a way to win this game Sunday night. I think it'll be a fun one to watch. Actually, I do like some points, but I'll go 24-20 Indy.
I'm going to take the Colts to cover here, but I'm going to take the Niners to win at home. I think the Colts, obviously Carson Wentz has played really well the last few weeks. I'm pretty sure he won Offensive Player of the Week this week. And the way they have Jonathan Taylor going now, they just didn't use Jonathan Taylor in the first half last week. God knows why, at home against the Texans. And then the second half they used him and he absolutely went off. So I think that he's going to have a lot of work this week again. I'm not big on the Niners. I wasn't. I am in the playoffs, but I think the Niners know that this is a must-win game at home if they want to keep track. Obviously, the NFC West is probably far-fetched now, but one of those wild card spots, the NFC. Colts playing better the last 2 weeks, obviously, but it's a tough road game for them. Don't think they're out of it. If they lose this game, I think it's close, but I'll take the Niners by 3. I'm going to go Niners 23-20.
That is, on paper, it looks like a boring game, but I don't know. I think you're right. I actually think that's going to be a fun game to watch.
I mean, I think the Colts are a fun team to watch, and the Niners, they just kind of have good offensive scheme. I like the game. I'm looking forward to it. I think they're really close.
All right. And then we got Monday night here. New Orleans traveling to Seattle. Seattle getting 5.5 at home. over under 43.5. Obviously for Seattle, Russell Wilson still out. Chris Carson was put on IR. You know, he's going to miss this one, next one after this. A lot of injuries starting to build up for Seattle. With that said, you know, Geno Smith hasn't done a bad job at all. He's came in a night game against the Rams and, you know, fought that team back into it, gave his team a chance to win. Obviously couldn't do it. Fall behind 14-0 on the road Sunday night last week to the Steelers, and all of a sudden he's fights his team back into it, pushes the game into overtime, and he's doing all he can to give this team a chance to win. And I do want to say they have a chance to win this game at home. I am not going to pick him to win. I will take the Seahawks to cover the 5.5, just because I do, as much as I have not bought into the Saints at all. I just don't trust the Seahawks defense enough. And, this feels like a game where Jameis could get enough points for the Saints to win this. Saints defense has been playing well. Geno was able to have a little success against the Steelers, though. I think you have enough success against the Saints defense to keep them in this game and cover the spread. But, kind of until Russell Wilson comes back, I'm going to see most matchups being a little bit too much for Seattle to handle. So give me the Saints to win, Seahawks cover 23-20.
Yeah, again, I'm with you. I mean, obviously I'm the only guy that's been on the Saints. With Russell Wilson playing, it's a shame because the guy just goes off on Monday night. He's got like the best winning record ever on Monday Night Football. But with Geno, I think that their team is just different. They don't know if they can. It was a nice performance against the Steelers, who are the Steelers. Who knows if they're a good team or not? But I like the Saints. I think their defense is going to shut them down. Jamal Adams has got some heat past few weeks with some of these videos coming out, and oh man, the Seahawks, they just, without Russ, I do think they fall apart, and I just don't think they're gonna win a lot of games without him. So I'll take them to cover here, just because I think James will throw enough picks where the game is close. But I like the Saints to win here. Kind of a fun game to watch, but I'll go 24-20 New Orleans.
AT, I'm shocked you're not taking your Saints to cover
here. 5.5 is a lot of points. 5.5 is a lot.
It is a lot of points, but I don't think I've taken the Saints to cover once this year, but I'm going to take them here. I think the Steelers last week struggled because they saw 3 minutes of Geno Smith on film. I think the Saints are now coming off a bye and have a whole full game script of Geno Smith on film. I think that is going to play a big factor. And also Alex Collins ran for 100 yards last week. He's not going to play this week. Pretty sure their number one running back is going to be Rashad Penny, who's just coming off the IR. So God knows what shape he's in. I just think it's a bad mix. I think the Saints off a bye here are going to come out ready to play. Jameis may or may not have a big day. Hoping Kamara has a big day. 5.5 is a pretty big number, but I'll take the Saints by 7 here. I don't know if it's too fun of a football game to watch, but I think the Saints get the job done. I'll go 20-13 Saints.
Jazzy,
They roll Alex Collins out.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive he's gonna be out.
Jazzy, are you on the Saints officially, or is this just a game?
No, just a game. They're
playing Geno Smith.
It'd be 4-2 if they get this win. Just saying, boys.
I could be wrong. Though. I thought I read that Alex Collins actually had a decent shot at playing this week, but I don't know.
I don't think he's gonna play.
All right, Adam. Bet.
Okay. You can pick what you want, buddies, since our record is.
I don't know if we just. I think the Giants and Lions game is really the only ones we're different on.
We got Eagles, Raiders. The Lions, Rams, and then the Giants. That might be it.
I'll take Philly.
I mean, I'm not going to say no. You can have what you want, but
I'll take a Philly +3, and I'm first in the locks. I already got my 3 written down. I might as well start with that one, get it out of the way. That was already one of my locks.
I hate when to get
so I'm going to take it. I'm going to double down on it. Go try to get a win against you for once this season, Adam. No, I was just start my locks saying last time I picked first, I took 3 dogs. Went actually 3-0. Not picking 3 dogs this week, but we do have a couple dogs. Vegas got killed last week because favorites had a good week. I don't know. So I'm going to maybe start to lean some dogs this week. let's start with that one. Philly +3 has one. The second one, let's go right to the Sunday night game. I got the Colts +3.5 against the Niners. As talked about, I have them winning that game outright. And last but not least, or actually they go with an over here, and that's going to Detroit and LA, and we're going to go over 50.5 in that one.
Really want the birds there, Gank.
Sorry, Bull.
All right, first I'm gonna go with the over in the Ravens game.
Like that.
I like that.
I never take the spread with them, but I do like the over. Secondly, me and Gank both liked it. I'm running right back to my Lions +15.5.
That's funny.
I was torn between that one or Philly. So either way, it sounded like you were going against the locks.
I don't think that's a crazy decision. I can't back the Lions.
Sounded like one way or another you were betting against the lock.
Yep, sounds like it. Yeah.
My last one, I know you two both didn't like it, and I'm gonna get burned probably, but I loved it. I'm gonna take the Fins +2.5.
I know. I knew you were gonna do that. No. He's betting the Falcon. Oh my god.
Oh man, trash betting Falcon games not ideal. I was hoping he was just gonna lay the 17.5 with Arizona when you said you two went against it. But
I'll take the home dog.
Oh man. All right. First of all, I am happy this one fell to me. Give me Packers -9.5. Obviously, I've been against the football team. I just don't see how defensively they're going to really stop Rodgers. And he's playing out of his mind right now. So we're going with that one. I am also going to stay with that game. I'm going to take the over at 48.5. I think I don't like to bet the same game twice, but I really, like I said, I think both offenses do pretty well. I see Rodgers putting up at least 30, which gives me faith that the football team can put up around 20.
I've done it a few times. It's worked.
Yeah.
Doing the people parlay, I like it.
Not really.
Little
Much,
SGP.
not really much left for me. Chaz, Gonzo's on the Browns, right?
Yes.
All right, give me Browns -3.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, Browns -3. When in doubt, go with Gonzo. I liked it before with him on it. I like it even more.
What's Gonzo's record?
Not good, but he should have won. I'm convinced he should have won last week, so I'm counting that as a
Well, here's the thing. Everybody's kind of calling bullshit for that too. I ain't gonna lie. I said before they even crossed midfield, like I told my brother, I think my brother, whoever was over, somebody had the Eagles +7. I told them right off the bat, I'm like, analytically says the Eagles march down field and score a touchdown here. They're going to 100% go for 2.
Yeah,
That's what they did.
They did that the last 3 years. I mean,
yeah,
that's happened. I remember either last year or 2 years ago, they were playing the Seahawks at home, and the line was 6.5, and they did the same exact thing, and they got it.
Like I said, it's an analytic thing that numerous teams have done it. And, they say fourth quarter, if you're down 2 touchdowns like that, you get the first one, they say you might as well go for 2. So you're going to need the second one anyway. Yeah. And even if you don't get the 2-point conversion, you go for it again. And it's like, if you go for 2 twice or something, they say like 85%. It's like 85% of the time you get it at least once. So,
yeah.
Oh, that's the numbers behind it. That's why.
Yeah, it
makes complete sense.
It's a very analytical thing in the NFL. Like the Eagles, I think, have done it the most, but like numerous teams have been doing it for the past few years. If you actually watch, like look for it now.
Chargers probably going to do that all year.
Oh, the Chargers would 100% go for 2 in that situation if it happens. Like you can bet on that.
Yeah, go for 4th down on their own 20 and attack Marlon Humphrey.
You might as well cut your fucking punter.
Oh, Yankee.
Not gonna make McAfee happy.
God, you got the Raiders. I don't love that.
Yeah, you're 6-0. You can afford a loss, and you may even be 7-0. I need to I need like a 5-2 stretch against you. Like I need to get it back to like 5-8 somehow.
Or if I get to 9, well, I guess we do the playoffs too. So no, we lock the
We
playoffs.
do the playoffs. It's an 18-week regular season too.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I need like somehow, some way a 5-2 stretch. I need to cut your 6-game lead in half in these next 7 weeks, I think.
Well, you got the
If I
bird.
could get to 5-8, that'd be nice. But
You got me betting the Raiders, and you got you and Chaz against me. So if you can't get this dub, then you're in serious trouble.
I think I've had a couple bets this year, though. That was that
No, you have.
situation.
You definitely have.
We'll see how it goes.